Welcome back to IT Security Labs, and today we are completing a machine called Mr. Phisher. Mr. Phisher is by Cinematic on Tryhackme, and as you can see, I went ahead and clicked the start button. Then once the machine started, this is my IP address. I decided to open the machine, and as you can see here, it says that I received a suspicious email with a very weird looking attachment. Keep saying enable macros. So this is going to be an investigation on a phishing email with macros, particularly answering the question, what are macros and how can you identify them, and can you decode what those macros are doing? That's the main challenge here. And we'll start by opening a document. This will automatically open for you. So go ahead and open it. So I downloaded that same virtual document, mrphisher.dcm, to Kali Linux in my temp folder. So as you can see, so I'm going to show you a couple ways to interact with it. First one being try to open the document, and you'll get a warning that says this document contains macros. Just say okay, and here's the document opening up. All right, so here's another security reason again. It says, hey, this thing contains macros, and we just say okay. Okay, now it's time to go and identify those macros. Okay, so in LibreOffice, to see the macros, you go to Tools, all the way at the top, and you see macros, edit macros. So in the edit here, all right, so if we open Mr. Phisher project, modules, new macros, right here, you observe that we do have a macro here. So what is this? This is Visual Basic Programming. So what's happening? Let's just quickly do a crude way to try to understand what's happening here. We are defining A as an array, okay? But I is not created. I is only created here, where we're saying we need a range or bound of for A, and then in this case B, which is supposed to be a string, is equals to B, and which in this case B is just blank, character versions of A in XOR I. So we're saying the range here for A in XOR format, that's what it looks like. Well, I don't know how to run this script, so I'll do a converter for us. So we can just copy that. There is an online VB code converter to Python. Python is nicer to use. So let's just convert this to Python. And then we'll take this Python script and make it work. All right, so if I come here and I say vi decoded.py, because that's what I want to call it. It's just going to be my Python script. So insert that. This needs to be formatted in Python because I'll be using Python 3. So we need to format it correctly. And we're going to do that right now. All right, so to make it work, I'm just going to do an insert. I'll delete everything on top here because I don't think that was adding anything. In fact, this one is not adding anything either because A is defined here. So I need to fix that. Let me remove this as well, because I can define all these without that noise. So B is just an empty string. B is going to be my flag, by the way. So I'll remove that and just open the quotes in Python, just like that. And then for A, since it's just an array, I'll remove the word array. Instead, I'll replace this with Python specific quotes, square brackets. Then I'll just put that square bracket there. And then let's fix this one. Python doesn't understand VB range. In fact, I can use a module, but let's just make it range. You can Google these, by the way. I was Googling them earlier. And this one, I think, your bound, it should be length. Okay. And these brackets here will not work. This is I, by the way. Just converting it so that Python can read it. And in Python, this is the character here with lowercase c. Okay, so it looks like we have made some progress. Let's delete this last line here. Instead, let's actually print our B. Print Give me B. All right, I think that would do it. Escape. Save that. Python 3 decoded.py. Let's see if it will work. All right, we got an error, something indentation. Let's fix that. We do have an incorrect indentation, which we can fix. Okay, so A is that. This one needs to be indented. Okay. It's a little game of trying to figure out. Length is not defined. Of course, I need to look up what does Python call length. It's not length, it's len. This is what happens when you try to do everything from memory. So I had to look it up. It's just len, like that. All right, now fourth time is a charm. All right, now we get our flag. So being able to just convert the VB script into a Python script, doing a lot of trial and error like you saw me doing here, gave me the flag. So let's go back and just put the flag. All right, so we did learn about macros, and how they work. So being able to pull them from a machine. One last thing as a bonus here, if you don't want to go through that process of getting the macro by hand, you might want to just use a tool called, in this case, OVBA. So if I run this OVBA, Mr. Phisher documentation, it will just give you the macros directly. That's what I use for CTFs most of the time instead of by hand. So run OVBA, and it will give you all the macros that show up in that database. Of course, you need to install this tool. All right, so as you can see, the OVBA tool gave us the same macro that we got directly from the document. So that's it from me. If you like this, please remember to like and subscribe and share this video with your friends. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thank you.